Yes, okay. So we are about to start our AGM. I am Surelia, Vice Chair of ARCC, and our schedule is quite fully packed today, so enjoy it. Sit back and enjoy it today. Our AGM, we waited for this AGM for a long time to come through, and it has, and today is the day for it. So sit back and enjoy it, okay?
Namaste and Jumbo. Our guest of honour, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Sherwan Choudhury, dignitaries, guests, members and colleagues, a very, very warm welcome to our annual general meeting 2020 to 2021. Do you know, I feel like I'm in a room full of friends. I went around and I said hello to everyone, or as many people as I could, walking around, and so many familiar faces and some new ones in such a fantastic venue. And many of you have commented on the venue today, and I think it's a fitting way, isn't it, to end an incredible year for ARCC and finally holding a meeting face to face, which seems a little bit strange because we've all got accustomed to the new way of being in a virtual world in a way, and so many people that I've worked with over the past year online I'm seeing face to face for the first time, so welcome all of you. I hope you enjoyed that TikTok video. It pretty much sums up really an incredible effort by the ARCC team in keeping our food bank and our services running throughout COVID-19 and the pandemic. And that video showcases our food bank in action. So before I go on, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm really bad at this, so I'm going to point because I don't know my right and left. So if there is a fire, I don't think we're expecting a fire drill or anything, so if it goes off, it's real. You go left and you go straight out the front door, and I think you congregate somewhere if as many of us can fit, in the front patio bit, and then across the road. And then the toilets are sort of opposite you through the double doors, and then turn right through the next double doors, and then the ladies, gents and disabled toilets are there. If you don't know, then please do ask a member of my team. We're all wearing these big lanyards, you can't miss us, and they will take you there. So we've got a really packed agenda today. I'm hoping Mamun's going to put the agenda on the screen so that we can get through, and we've started a little bit late, so I do hope that we can get through things in a timely manner, and I would ask speakers to keep your speeches concise so that we can get through as much of the agenda as we can. You've probably figured out, but I'm chairing the meeting today, so let's go through the agenda and see what we've got in store for you. So we'll be starting the event with a message from our guest of honour, the Mayor of Croydon. This will be followed by the Chair's address. We will then go through the minutes of the last AGM, followed by the Secretary's report and the Treasurer's report. We will then have a section on our business forum, after which I will be giving my organisational update. You'll get a chance to hear from our projects team about some of the projects that we've got going. And then we will showcase a short video which we're a part of in keeping South Asian communities safe during COVID-19. Shortly after that, you will hear from our guest speaker, and then we'll move on to any other business and Q&As. We will then close the meeting with a vote of thanks, but please do stay. We'll be networking, having lunch and some entertainment in the bigger room so that there's more opportunity for people to move around. So now, if I could invite our guest of honour, the Mayor of Croydon, Councillor Sherwan Choudhury, to come up and say a few words, please.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I won't be able to say different languages because I don't want to miss anyone. Mr. Chairman and all the dignitary and guests, I'm really honored to be here today because I'm delighted. I can see so many good people and known people face, which I know for the last 40 years, in Croydon. And Asian Resource Centre is one of the most successful organizations in our borough, which is providing excellent, valuable service to our community, is being recognized and is proven during the COVID time. Thank you very much, everybody. This organization has been established for quite a long time, and some of you probably quite newly young people joining there, but it's not the one day's work. It's for a long, long time they spend for their time and effort to build this organization, which is really important. And I can see Councillor Kabir and other people, frontline, those who worked very hard to build this organization, which is really, I thank you for behalf of Croydon. And I think one thing I remember, this organization was brainchild of Councillor Raj Chandravana, probably some of you know, and Councillor Shafi Khan. They also worked very hard initially. Then the founder member, Mr. Kabir and other you as well, and a lot of other people is working. And of course, it's really, I can see all the hard work is going through, and we will be continuing for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. And now if I could ask our chair, Mr. J. Patel, to come and give the chair's address, please.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How many people around the audience know me? How many people know J. Patel? You? That's quite good because I was going to call myself Mr. Croydon. But I thought I'll upset some of the people from Croydon Council who are representing Croydon. But the reason I'm here, and I welcome everyone to the annual general meeting, it gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome you and thank you for taking your time to attend this meeting. Your trust and support to us is so important. It gives us the confidence to push ourselves, overcome the challenges and the complexities, and to deliver the services to our community members as they expect from us year after year. We've done it for 22 years now. And I think we now can say truly that we can represent our community members. Let me start by first sharing some of the reflections of the last year. A year that has been extraordinary year for ARCC in every sense. Unprecedented challenges, but despite this, we have demonstrated our strength, our resilience as an organization, as well as our capacity to adapt and improve our services for our community members. The dramatic shift to living and working online has altered the entire landscape of ARCC, especially when we had to find new ways to come together, collaborate with our members, engage them with our activities, and that has been quite a challenging task, but we have overcome that. In some of the cases, we have had to deal with the most vulnerable in our society and deliver the services they expected from us in these hard times. You don't have to tell me in terms of how much Zoom has overtaken my life in the last year. I'm so proud of our staff members who have worked very hard in some of the difficult situations and still continue to deliver these services that we've been delivering. The pandemic, with the total cases of over 7.2 million, and the price that we have paid with 134,000 deaths, along with thousands of lost jobs, have been grave concern to all of us. With long periods of lockdown and the government restrictions, every human activity has suffered. I don't think there's anybody in the audience that hasn't been affected by the COVID restrictions. And our hearts are with those people that have lost their loved ones over the last 2 years. I want to thank also those people that have worked very hard at the forefront with extraordinary commitment, the likes of NHS staff, the doctors, the ambulance services, the police, the charities and the voluntary organizations, and some of the businesses that have come together and still kept on the essential services going, even though they faced themselves the real risk themselves. Nevertheless, ARCC can acknowledge that this year we have reasons for optimism. At the time of our last AGM, there was no COVID vaccine. Nor did anyone know how quickly the vaccination would be developed and whether it would be successful or not. But now in UK, we have administered 92.5 million vaccinations, and over 44 million of those have already got the second vaccination as well. So ARCC, in partnership with NHS Croydon, has played a very crucial role in making sure that our community members come forward and take their vaccination. And I'm very proud of what our staff have done in that area. But we also know that the months ahead will be challenging. We need to continue our efforts in similar fashion to ensure that the plans outlined to control the pandemic through the winter months are supported, especially for our community members over 50 to take the third booster jab. I've taken mine, by the way. And the program is already on, so we encourage all our community members, if you're eligible to take your vaccination, the third booster jab, please do so. This brings me to another topic that ARCC has been heavily involved in the last 2 years. We have launched a number of initiatives in partnership with NHS and cover helping our communities members to lead a healthier life and hopefully a longer life. We want our community voices to be heard, especially for social care services, so that their expectations are met by people responsible at policy-making decision level. I'm also proud to announce that the number of staff that we have increased from last year from 8 to 16. The workforce has been operating remotely in exceptionally difficult conditions to begin with. But now, much of that is already behind us. Under new leadership and with additional expertise we have brought into the organization, significant progress has been made, and we have achieved and we will continue to achieve the strategy that we are striving forward. Today I'm proud to stand in front of you and announce that one of our strongest financial year results, and that will be covered by the treasurer and or the finance manager, and we want to also cover what we have done in the communities, the range of services that we have offered, and our secretary and the CEO will do the same. The success we have achieved last year in both fronts and the foundation we have laid can only strengthen our belief and our reason for optimism for the years ahead to come. For me, the next challenge is to make ARCC a much more fluid organization, an organization that earns its reputation from the promises that are delivered. We just don't talk, we deliver what we do. And to expand the community and business partnership membership is something that I'm looking forward to. Yes, we recognize that the journey this far has demanded difficult decisions, and I think, and I thank the support that I've been given by my fellow trustees, senior staff management, and all the staff and volunteers that are in this room. I'm sure that they are getting tired every time I mention the words passion, commitment, dedication. But those values are so important to me, and that demonstrates how we work as a team and all of us together. Thank you for your faith in my leadership and to bring about the strategic changes in ARCC. The foundations that were laid for me over the years is what's driving me forward. The next journey will be long and challenging, but nothing is impossible if we all maintain a positive mindset. Finally, I would like to thank all the funding organizations who provide us with the funds to deliver the activities and the initiatives to our community members. To all our community members, and some of them are present here, who take the advantage of the activities we run, they participate, they engage with it. So thank you very much for doing that. We want to make sure that we look forward to repaying the faith you have placed in ARCC as an organization. So thank you very much. I said I'm Jay Patel. I said I'm Mr. Croydon. But the main reason I'm here is that if I don't do anything, I won't know what the result's going to be. And that's what I want to make sure that whatever I do, the results are backed up with it. And that's the guy I follow. Thank you very much. Now is my second class, by the way. The minutes of our last AGM have been prepared. They have been on our website for over a week now. Some of those minutes are available on the website, as I said. If you want to refer to them, fine. If anybody has read them, thank you very much for that. But what I would like to do now is to see if anybody wanted to raise any corrections. If not, can I please ask someone to propose the minutes and also then to second the last AGM minutes? Thank you. Sorry, I don't know your name. Thank you. Anybody want to second it? Thank you very much. So the minutes of the last AGM are now approved.
Okay, well, I won't be up here for long because now I'm going to call up our secretary, Mr. Sahadat Hossain, to give the secretary's update.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone feeling? All okay? Well, thank you. My name is Sahadat, as Ima has introduced. I'm the secretary from this financial year onwards, but I would like to present to you our report for last year. Last year, our secretary was actually Sophia. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it due to some other commitments, so I will present her version. Sophia still continues to be an active member of our ARCC board members, so she is still part of us. So thank you, Sophia. Sophia has highlighted in the annual report, 2020 has brought into the spotlight social and economic inequalities in our society. Although these realities are not new to the people we support, ARCC has continued to represent views of the Asian community and lobby local governments for change. We have published key reports to inform the work of statutory organisations like the Council, NHS, and how to support the Croydon VCS and communities. As with many other charities, businesses and services, 2020 has been the most challenging year in the Asian Resource Centre history. Whether it was global movements like Black Lives Matters or local issues like the Council Section 115 declaration, we have found ourselves having to rethink the organisation's way of thinking and working our services and our future. So ARCC has been seen up to 60% rise for demand in our services compared to 2019 and forced us to reshape some of our services like our food bank, coffee mornings, and introduce new services like befriending and care packs. I would like to convey my thanks to all our trustees and our founders and sponsors, our partners, businesses and community members. Thank you. All those that have supported our work and attended our events, Sophia and I have wished to give special thanks to our staff and volunteers also dedicated, and hard work has been allowed us to thrive in what was a very challenging year. Can I just take this moment to just give them a round of applause, please? And I just want to give a special thanks to you all for coming today. I trust you all enjoyed hearing about all the work ARCC is doing, and our plans for the future is set to be bright and enduring. We hope you all continue to be part of our journey with us. Thank you. So I'll just move on to my part now. So it's a great honor, privilege for me to be selected as the new secretary for ARCC. Prior coming on to ARCC, I was actually a full trustee, a co-opted trustee, and I've been selected to become the secretary by our board members. So thank you to you all for trusting me and selecting me. I must say, since joining the organization, I have been so impressed in the way we support the community, especially those hard to reach and marginalized sections of our society. As a board member, I have been active in attending all the board meetings, taking a lead role in the various subcommittees, as well as coming up with various ideas to drive the organization forward. We have a great team who are fully dedicated to serving the community, and I look forward to getting involved and supporting the organization in the months and years ahead. I come from a business background personally, and I want to engage more with the Croydon businesses and Asian businesses contribute to 8 to 10% to the UK economy alone. With Croydon itself being 52% paying majority, we enjoy many major Asian businesses at the heart of the local economy. I feel ARCC and its members could benefit from expertise, engagement from within the business more. I also want to ensure that the organization remains well governed and meets all its legal and regulatory requirements. I'm sure you all have seen the fantastic report on our website, which Jay has also mentioned. Hope you had a good read and all the amazing work that was delivered during the past year. We will bring it on the screen, if you don't mind. Thank you. Can I ask someone to propose, please? So we'll propose and second, please. Thank you. Anybody would like to propose, please? Thank you. Someone? And can I ask someone to second, please? Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I will leave that with you, and I'll pass over to Emma. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Sahadat. And if you haven't seen the AGM, the annual report, please do have a look. It's got some fantastic content in there. It's on the website. We try not to print too many things nowadays, so the copies are on the website. However, we do have a few spare copies here that are printed if you'd like to take one with you today. I don't think there's enough for everyone. Right, so thank you very much, Sahadat, for that update. And now we will move on to a section where we will have the accounts update from the Treasurer, but unfortunately our Treasurer has got other commitments today, so he was unable to make it. However, I'd like to call onto the stage our Programme Manager, Mr. Mamun Khan, who many of you will be familiar with, and also, of course, you will be familiar with our Finance Manager, who does the day-to-day running, so she's very well equipped with information on this. Debahuti, Chakraborty, if you can come and give the financial update.
Good morning, everyone. I think it's still morning. My name is Mamun Khan, as Ima said. I'm the Program Manager at the Asian Resource Centre of Croydon.
My name is Debahuti Chakraborty. I am the Finance Manager in Asian Resource Centre. Me and Mamun will take you through the finances for the year 2020-2021 on behalf of the Treasurer.
Okay, so the full set of accounts have been on the ARCC website, as was mentioned, for the past week or so. I'll just bring it up here so that you can see. It is around 30 pages, so I'm happy to go through it if you'd like. But I think maybe we can do something a bit more exciting. How does that sound? Unless we have accountants in the room that would raise their hands, they insist that we must go through the full 30 pages. Yeah, I think we'll skip that. Okay, so in the annual report, firstly, the Treasurer has given his report, and you can see the summary of the income and the expenditure. So what I will go through is the actual presentation that we prepared for you. Okay, there we go. So firstly, we'll take you through the income, then give you a summary of the income, then Deba will go through the expenditure of the organisation and the summary, and then we'll look at a comparison of how the organisation has fared over the past 10 years, and this will be followed by looking ahead at some of the fundings that we've managed to secure for the current financial year. So if I could begin to let you know that the total income for the organisation was 497,636. Okay? In terms of how the income was made up, we received 167,301 from the National Lottery Community Fund, and then 128,688 from local trust for our fabulous BLBG project, and then 105,000 from London Borough of Croydon. This consisted of two elements. One was infrastructure element, which was 65,000, and the second part was the 40,000 for our outcomes program. We also received 27,000 from the CCG for our long-term conditions project, and another 21,250 from the CCG for the expert patient program. We also received 11,300 from One Croydon Alliance, LVP, for our family guide, 10,051 from the One Croydon Alliance for the LVP mental health project, which you will hear a bit more about later on, 9,561 from the City Bridge Trust, and 5,000 from CCG for the COVID outreach program that we did during the past year. And then the rest of the income is less than 5,000. It's made up of donations, sponsorship, and small bits of other funding. So that concludes the income. I'll pass over to Deba to go through the expenditure.
I will now take you through the total expenditure for the financial year ending on 31st March 2021. So the total expenditure was 399,123. And this consisted of the following. So this is the breakdown of the expenditure. 259,362 for the management and admin cost. This consists of staff salaries, which is 235,304, staff pension cost, which is 8,020, rent 10,472, as well as insurance, subscriptions, IT software and consumables. The next one is 53,934 is for charitable activities. This was mainly the combination of the payments made to our CCDP partners, and this is the total makeup of 53,934. Then the next one is 46,232 pound for other support cost. This mainly comprising of legal, professional and fundraising support. 33,348 pound for project delivery. This is small grants payment to organisation from BLBG theme investment pot and other BLBG expenses, and the COVID-19 emergency hub work we did for the hub. 4,133 for general admin expenditure, and finally 2,114 pound for governance cost, comprising mainly of accountant's fee. This leaves us, this is total 399,123. This leaves us with a surplus of 98,513 for the financial year ending on 31st March 2021. The major part of this surplus is due to non-alignment of the different project funding to the financial year. Total funds carried forward this year is 262,326, of which restricted funding is 185,133 and unrestricted funding is 77,193. Restricted funding is subject to project delivery and unrestricted funding form parts of ARCC reserve. We would now like to thank all our funders for having faith on us during a very difficult year. Next financial year is looking very promising, and Mamun will now take you through the secured funding for the next financial year.
I think before I get to that, I just wanted to show this chart that we brought up here, which shows the annual income comparison for the organization for the past decade. As you can see, over the last 4 years, we've been quite stable and managed to sustain the growth of the organization by diversifying our income stream, which is a testament to how hard the organization has worked and how far the organization has come. As you can see, if we look back to 2010, 2011, and even 2015, where the income was just over 50,000, and now we're hitting 497,636 for the last financial year. So as Deba said, let's take you through 2021-22 to see how the income is looking for the organization. So in terms of what we've secured so far £126,143 from the CCG, 165,300 from the TNL Community Fund, 125,669 from Local Trust for the BLBG project, 105,000 from Croydon Council, 14,813 from People's Health Trust, 19,500 from NHS Charities Trust, 12,904 from One Croydon Alliance LVP Mental Health Project, and another 15,303 consisting of other small bits of income. So in total, we have secured £584,632 for the next financial year. I think that deserves our applause, right? Thank you. So that concludes the financial report on behalf of the Treasurer. I hope we've been engaging, clear and interactive in the presentation, and hope you enjoyed what usually is a boring part of the AGM for some. Okay? I'll pass it back over to the Chair to go through the adoption and approval of the annual accounts.
How did you find it? If you're not an accountant, this could be boring, but I'm an accountant by background. I left accountancy after 5 years being a management account and become a business consultant instead. I need somebody to propose the accounts and to second them so we can get them approved. Anybody in the audience? Anybody can raise a hand, by the way, and just say your name. So can someone now second it? Thank you very much. So our annual accounts for April 2020 to March 2021 are now approved. And I need to do one other formal job, which is we have an accountant and independent examiner called Beck, Williamson and Co. And what I would like to do now, we're very happy with their services, very happy with their support, very happy with the way they prepare our accounts. So what I'd like to do now is somebody to propose that we continue with the same company to prepare our accounts and become an independent examiner as well for the Charity Commission. So anybody would like to propose that we continue with our same company? Thanks, Lizzie. Anybody would like to second that? Kaushali at the back. Kaushali. Yeah. Thank you very much. Emma, do you want me to continue while I'm standing here? Okay. This is something that I had the passion for when I became the chair last year. I always had a vision that I wanted to set up ARCC business forum so that we can start getting engaged with bringing the businesses and engage them with the community work, and also sponsor some of the activities that we deliver to our community members. And in some cases, if they wanted to, also sponsor some of the events that we organize on the social side. Today I'm very proud of it. And Mamun, can you bring that slide up? And the vision that has been put forward is that we have business forums, sponsors. We are looking for large Asian-owned businesses that would like to sponsor us. I say Asian because that's the name I've inherited, but it doesn't matter which background or which ethnicity they come from. They can be anybody that would like to come forward and sponsor us. On the other side, we have businesses that are service providers, like the accountants, the solicitors, the training companies, whoever they may be. And on the left-hand side, we have the service users, who are businesses that are typically on the high street. They're small businesses, they don't have any expertise, they know how to run their business, but they are basically there in order to make sure that they are supported with the right services that they need. And all of them are engaging with the communities. And that's what we want, is to circle and be in the middle where we can provide the networking facilities, we can provide the support facilities that our community members need, the businesses that needs to engage with the communities, and we, believe me, have got a large community base with over 10,000 members. 6,000 of them are active in terms of using our services. So what I'd like to do, having done that introduction very quickly, is to invite Anant Barchha, Mr. Anant Barchha. Anant is a senior manager and an extensive experience focused around the performance of risk analysis. He is involved as a CEO as Bank House Local Limited, and also Neelkanth Safety Deposit Box, who are based on Brighton Road.
So, Mr. Chairman, Miah, members, Worshipful, Councillor Chairman Choudhury, Councillor Suleman, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all, first of all, for the invitation to speak at the AGM. Absolute pleasure to be here. My apologies, I need to dash out for another meeting, but I was keen to get here today. I'd like to talk a little bit, I'll try to keep it brief. Last year, I was invited to say a few words at the AGM as well, because some of you may remember. And it was the first time for me, and I found it, if I was to be perfectly honest, online, quite surreal. Sitting in my office, looking at the screens, but then going through almost 2 hours listening to what you did as an organisation. And I was a bit gobsmacked, if I may use that word. I'm just amazed at the work you do. As the Jay mentioned, I'm the business manager for Bank House Lockers and Neelkanth Safe Deposit. And I do recall, there's quite a lot to get through, so I'll be very quick. I'll give you a little bit of background on our business and the valued relationship we've been building up with ARCC over the last couple of years. Before that, if I may, I just want to share my experience or impressions of meeting Miah for the first time from 2 years ago. So we opened our branch in South Croydon in 2019. We've been around Wembley for 30 years, in Southall for 7 years, providing safe deposit services to the community. And 6 months after we opened in South Croydon, we had a little event at our branch. We're coming into COVID, there was only a few members, a few attendees, we kept our distances. And Ema came along, and the first thing, my job was, as we just opened, was thinking, well, I've got to do some hard sell here. I've got to convince everybody of what we do and what our background is and all that. But I thought before that, let's just go around the room and introduce ourselves. So Ema was the first person to introduce herself. And basically, she literally got up and she said, quite direct, quite clear, Asians in, I'm not going to quote verbatim, but this is what it sounded like, right? Asians in Croydon and surrounding areas are afraid to wear jewellery outside and scared to keep them at home. We need a safe place like yours, and thank you for coming here and setting up your business. How can we help? Absolute, that's right, isn't it? Absolute gobsmacked again. Ema went on to describe her role at the ARCC and the work that was what you will do. But what came across was the confidence, the intelligence, and the passion. And I've seen that with Jay and with other colleagues the last couple of years. And again, my hat's off to you and congratulations. Clearly, I didn't need to do any hard sell. She done it for me. And so thank you for that. But in a nutshell, we went on to discuss things. And essentially, we had representatives from the community, the business, the council side. And we talked about the fact that we Asians, whichever community you come from, whether it's Bangladeshi, the Sikh community, the Hindu community, whichever it is, we have a tradition of keeping jewellery, inheritance, dowry, safekeeping. And we often don't realise how valuable it is. And we are targeted by burglars. Monthly, we're talking about 8,000 burglaries around London. And we end up losing a value that we didn't even realise we had. And sentimental items where we do realise our parents, our grandparents have given us something and we've lost it and we can't replace that. So really a quick message to all of you is, please, if you could pass on the message to friends, families, if you have jewellery, get it valued, understand what financial, commercial value you have, you'll be surprised at it probably, and keep it safe. Whether it's Neelkanth or not doesn't matter, keep it safe. But if in doubt, come and visit us. Moving on, just for our own business, we've been around for 30 years. We are affiliated with the Swaminarayan Baptist Temple that you may have seen in Neasden. They have an ethos of seva, service, social, community work. So essentially, our first role is to provide high level of safekeeping for the community at affordable prices. And secondly, if we make some profit, and it's not to drive profit, but if we make something, we then plow it back to the BAPS charities and to other local community initiatives. So, with that said, working with Ema and the art group has been really great for us. We've done a little bit of work funding some of the initiatives, small amounts, I gather. We're trying to help with the mental health awareness initiatives. And we look forward to working together as we go forward. So in summary, I'd just like to request a favour. Please pass on the message about you keeping your valuables safe, stay safe. And just to say, in September, we passed our 2-year anniversary. We had an event celebrating that. It's great to have, so especially for the Mayor, Councillor Housekeeping and others attend. And we are beginning to feel part of the community, not just as a business. So thank you for the invitation again. Thank you.
So grateful for the support and the sponsorship you give us to us in terms of the mental health projects. What I would like to do now is to invite another great friend of mine now. Only known him for less than 2 months. He's the co-founder of Sporting Memories Network and Foundation. Chris came along, or I met him through an introduction, and very quickly we developed a synergy whereby we are going to be setting up ARCC Sporting Memories Club, which will meet every week at one of the care homes. Sandra, can you stand up, please? Sandra is the general manager of one of the most beautiful care homes that I know of in Croydon. And she's volunteered to give us the venue to run that club on a weekly basis. And Chris is going to help us to set it up. So Chris, can you say a few words?
Yes. Thank you, Jay, and hello to everybody, dignitaries and members of ARC. Delighted to be here today, and it is a whirlwind relationship that we had. And it was first through meeting Sandra, who we were talking about sporting memories, and Sandra immediately invited me to meet Jay. And to give a little bit of background, we're 10 years old, so we feel like very new boys still. But we set up Sporting Memories as a way of engaging older people living with long-term conditions like dementia, depression, or people who are just lonely. And it's not exclusively for men, but particularly men often need an excuse to come together. And so we use this sport as a common currency that people like talking about sport and have those common memories. And I suppose just listening to the last speaker in terms of what we really value, we value everybody's memories and what a positive contribution they can make and bringing people together and making connections. And so it's quite a simple concept of inviting people who might be frail and have cognitive issues to come together and to share those memories, and through creating those friendships every week and talking about those common positive memories, forming friendships. And what we find is almost by stealth is once we bring together people remembering their childhood memories of playing sport and games, there's that urge to have a go at things again, and so we do some light physical activities, and so we make some really positive impacts in terms of people's well-being, mental well-being, and also physical well-being. And I think there's a wonderful opportunity for us in Croydon, where we've got some funding through Comic Relief, which we're able to bring down, and immediately saw an opportunity to combine Sandra's wonderful setting at Peony Court, but also through Jay and ARC to engage with some of your members to really try it out with a new community, because we operate across the UK, but I have to say, at the moment, if you look at our website, look at our members, it's overridingly a white membership. And so we feel that it could play a really part for your community as well. But really, our starting point has got to be treasuring the memories of your members and really teasing those out and just encouraging with the methodologies we developed to see how it can work in your communities. And so what's been fantastic is Jay's ability, and through ARC, to immediately transport us into the heart of your community. And so hopefully together over the coming months, we can set up a weekly club, perhaps just the first of several, and really make a difference to some of your community as well. So really excited about the prospect in the months to come. And just thank you for inviting me here today and being part of this wonderful community.
And finally, I'm not going to give him any introduction, because as much as he calls this place is his, and he is the founding member of this beautiful venue, I've seen this place built brick by brick from the early days. And the relationship I've developed with Mr. Suleman Raza is like he's a brother to me now. And that's all I'm going to say about you, Suleman. So I'd like to welcome you and say a few words.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of my team at the Grand Sapphire. Like Jay said, I'm not going to waste a lot of time in introducing myself. I want to start with the work which ARCC has been doing for some time now and my involvement with ARCC. I've been always impressed with the work which has been done towards mental health, domestic violence, and creating awareness towards various issues which we come across on everyday basis. So this was one of the reasons what I liked about ARCC, and I have always been on the front side of supporting every time they've been asking me for anything. So well done ARCC for that. I would also like to commend Miah, the CEO of ARCC. I think under her leadership, ARCC has come a long way. So to the entire team of ARCC, well done. In terms of the business forum, Jay, when you first came to me to discuss the idea of starting up a business forum, I liked the idea, and I promised you that I will support you for this. And I always believe that the real success is not about running a massive business, earning money, having lots of resources under your belt, but it's about how this success can be translated into benefiting the people around you and giving it back to them. So I give you my promise previously and in front of all your members that I will always be here to support this business forum. Anybody looking for any support in the local community, you guys know where I am. Finally, to all the members of ARCC, thank you so much for being part of this noble cause. Each one of you are playing a very crucial part in uplifting our wonderful community in Croydon. So all of you deserve a huge round of applause for being part of this important cause. And I want to wish all of you all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Suleman. And Jay, whilst Suleman is your brother, he is also the founder of a multi-million pound award winning brand, Spice Village Restaurants and Events Group. He's also been awarded the Curry King 2019, that was published in the BBC News, and he also just happens to be the co-owner of the Mirpur Royals, which is a cricket team in Pakistan, and a founding circle member of the Prince of Wales and British Asian Trust. He's given us a lot of support, including sponsoring this venue for us today to have the AGM. So I'd like to say another thank you to them. Right, we've had a lot of speeches. Do you feel like a little bit of entertainment? It wouldn't be an ARCC event, would it, without a bit of entertainment? So I would like to introduce a multifaceted artist by passion, an IT expert by profession, a popular and experienced tabla artist in the UK. He regularly accompanies eminent artists. He has performed in concerts and prestigious venues across the globe. He's also an internationally acclaimed wildlife and nature photographer and passionate naturalist. Author of several books on the subject and received several awards and accolades. Saleel balances his passion successfully with his IT profession. I would like to now ask our performing musician Saleel Tambe to once again entertain us with his magical fingers and his tabla. heard enough of me today, but it's actually time for my organisational update. I will keep it brief because I know it's a lot of talking going on. But before I start my organisational update, I want to thank everyone who came here today. It kind of shows, doesn't it, the scale of support that ARCC has as a charity. And the diversity in the room shows that whilst we are focused on the Asian community, our reach is much wider. So thank you, everyone. And we're very, very proud as an organisation to have an open door policy for all communities, so nobody should feel left out. As I reported in the annual report, it's been an unpredictable year, and in terms of unforeseen challenges presented to us by the pandemic, I have to apologise that I've just got over a chest infection, so you might find that I'm a little bit sort of breathy today, but that would be why. We started the year with our project delivery partners by inviting them to discuss a programme of activities that would shape our delivery. As the pandemic unfolded, we mobilised ourselves and our partners to work within the new norm and adapted our delivery to achieve our targets in new and innovative ways. During the past year of delivery, we've worked with thousands of people in the borough through many different services. The majority of our events have been held online, ranging from small groups of about 10 people to larger events that attracted up to 500 people. ARCC staff have found different ways to continue our services and accommodate emerging needs during the pandemic, such as adapting our communications to focus on coronavirus messages. We've adapted our website we've updated our website on a regular basis with the latest information on coronavirus matters, such as community health information in different languages, including Bengali, Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, Gujarati, Farsi, Creole, Spanish, German, Chinese, Luganda, and Tamil. During COVID-19, our food club became a fully fledged food bank, delivering free food parcels to vulnerable families, elderly people, or individuals that were self-isolating. We delivered essential items such as medication to our members who cannot leave their homes due to underlying health problems. We also ran a telephone befriending service by calling individuals on a weekly basis for a friendly chat and just to combat loneliness. Some of the challenges that we've faced over the past year have been related to government guidance on delivering face-to-face services. With several lockdowns and a tier system in place, we sometimes found ourselves ready to go back to face-to-face and then having to go back online again. So it's been quite challenging operationally. Our office location was not suitable for work during the pandemic, so we shifted our services to BLBG, which is Big Local Broad Greens Hub, and that space was adapted to make it COVID safe and enable us to deliver face-to-face work. We've consistently kept in touch with our partnership to support them through remote working. We've continued to work with our partners on a one-to-one basis through contractual capacity and delivery issues. The encouraging support that we've received from all our funders has enabled us to deliver good outcomes under very difficult circumstances and changing circumstances. We are proud of what we have been able to achieve as our part in supporting communities in a global health crisis. ARCC has played a crucial role in transforming how projects are delivered and supporting the council, NHS and public health to reach out to thousands of people in the borough. We've used our cultural expertise and our wide reach to get COVID messages across to the community, which has been received very positively. You'll be aware that due to the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on BAME communities, the pandemic has brought to light social and structural inequalities. We worked on addressing some of those inequalities through our own consultations and supported BAME communities to access support that they might ordinarily miss out on, due to lack of things like awareness, knowledge and cultural barriers and even language. Even during a global pandemic, I'm pleased to announce that we've had an increase, another year of increased funding, participation and projects. This year was one where we worked ever closer with other infrastructure organisations to form an infrastructure support service partnership. So Sumit Vicker from CNCA, Andrew Brown from the BME Forum and Steve Fall from the CVA, thank you for your support. I'm very pleased to say we brought £500,000 into the borough from the big lottery to develop a Croydon Community Development Partnership. We embarked on new productive relationships with the Croydon BME Forum to deliver a new health programme for ethnic minorities, and we worked even closer in partnership with Big Local Broad Green to deliver joint programmes like the food bank and the befriending services. This is my 7th year in charge of ARCC, and I can honestly say that every year is more promising than the last. I look forward to another exciting year to come where we will develop new projects and partnerships, bring in new funding into the borough and work much closer with the NHS and the council and the VCS through the One Croydon Alliance. Of course, none of what we do is possible without the support of many people and organisations. My sincere thanks goes to all of our funders, our sponsors, our Board of Trustees, colleagues from the VCS and all of the friends and supporters of ARCC without whom we could not be able to serve the community in the way which way we do. That wasn't your vote of thanks, by the way. Still got that to go. My final and biggest thanks, really, personally, is to my staff and my volunteers who are the backbone of the organisation and work tirelessly without complaint. They work collectively and creatively as a team, and they work innovatively to bring the magic year on year. My heartfelt thanks to all my team who are scattered around for making my job enjoyable and making it easy for me. And that's it, that's my speech. You're done. You are going to hear from some of our projects, which is the most exciting part of the day, where people, my colleagues will tell you about the brilliant projects we've got. But I've just noticed that our MP for North Croydon, Sarah Jones, has come and joined us. And sorry to put you on the spot, Sarah, but you wouldn't mind saying a few words with us, would you?
Gosh.
Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Apologies for lateness. I've been at a cycling club for older people in Croydon this morning, which has been amazing. Which I never knew existed, where older people on a Monday morning go and cycle and keep fit, which is fabulous. But that's why I'm late. Listen, I won't keep you because I know we want to hear about the projects. But just to say, you know, the annual report says that you helped in one way or another 6,000 people this year. So 6,000 people is quite an extraordinary figure, is it not? And given the amount of funding that you have, the struggle always with resources, the fact that you're bringing in money, the fact that you're managing to bring that money into Croydon is quite extraordinary, and those 6,000 people will be better off and happier than they were before because of your interventions, and that is a credit to all of you and to the way you work with all different organisations across Croydon and the leadership that you provide. So thank you for having me, and well done.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I won't get back on the podium because I think it's actually time for Lizzie, who is one of our project coordinators, to come and give her presentation.
Yeah, I'm not used to having a mic. I'm not used to talking pretty loud, so sorry if I shout into it. I basically lead the health programs here at ARCC, and I put a picture of me up on Zoom because nearly all of you will have at least seen me on Zoom, if not in 3D. And I've been here now for 1 year, so this is my first AGM. I lead both programs, the Expert Patients Program and the Long-Term Conditions Program. So I'll just go through the Long-Term Conditions Program really, really quickly. Both programs are funded by the South West London CCG, and everything I do is in partnership with the Croydon BME Forum. So I do just want to say thank you to my colleagues there who've kept us going. So thank you so much, Croydon BME Forum. Just move along for me, thank you. I was hoping the screen might be a bit bigger because basically, rather than me going through all about the programs, we just had a really, really impactful and successful first year. So I just wanted to put some of those numbers up. So Considering it was COVID and we had to do huge amounts on Zoom, we've already done 22 free health check events throughout all of Croydon. And we did pick up quite a lot of sort of health data and reasons to refer people onto their GP or other courses, which is exactly what the point of the programme is. So in my checks, we picked up 92% that had an increased high diabetes risk. So that one figure alone shows the importance of the projects that we're doing. And in those 22 health checks, we saw 345 people. So hopefully over the next year, you might see me all around Croydon or some of my colleagues. And please do feel free to come along and get your blood pressure done, heart rate, all of that. And we do, very importantly, if we pick up anything, the main thing is we follow through and we support you onwards. We can provide you with one-to-one health champions. Of course, we refer you to GPs and other courses. So if you can just move on to the next one for me, Mamun. So this is some examples of how we'll support you onwards. So mostly I will see you guys on the virtual coffee mornings, which have been 16 of them so far, and they're always on a different health theme. And we've done 200 coaching sessions. We've had over 1,000 people attend our virtual health workshops. And we've done, I've trained 28 health champions, and some of you are in this room, which is amazing. Thank you so much. And we've supported not just in those larger groups, but 132 people individually as well. And then just moving on to the Expert Patients Programme. That's a 6-week course that we offer here in Croydon, and it's completely free for the service user, and that's a little different in that it's for patients. So with the health checks, we're trying to get people in advance of them developing anything and help them with prevention rather than cure. But if you can just move to the next slide, with the Expert Patients Programme, it's for people who have already got a diagnosis. We've done 9 programs so far, each one lasting 6 weeks, but because it's online, we've given an extra week just to help people pick up on their IT skills as well. And it's taken, we've done over 528 hours of tutor training, so Croydon now has 11 fully qualified tutors, so this will definitely continue and expand throughout the next year. I can talk about health and these projects forever, so I thought I'd just finish by reading a testimonial that came through recently of someone who has been through both the Expert Patients Programme and then post that went and had a one-on-one health champion as well. So these are not my words, just so it's clear. So it says, thanks to ARCC, I've benefited tremendously from having the support of both the Expert Patients Programme and a health champion, and it has changed my life for the best. My health champion has shown incredible levels of commitment and flexibility. He has helped me to build trust in myself and others whilst moving forward with my life journey. Benefiting from his productive acumen, I have been able to flourish in and between sessions, safely exploring personal health and well-being goals. I've been able to communicate about health objectives and proactively to a level I've always dreamed of, but previously I had never thought possible. ARCC is the best provider that I have been involved with during this period of COVID in society. They have an ethos of empowerment regarding focused self-development and provision, and the encouragement of balanced forward-facing self-management has really been enthused within me. And it's clear that ARCC tangibly and enthusiastically promotes quality assurance. I feel like now I'm equipped with a range of people and self-management skills that are transferable. I feel more resilient, and I can set manageable health-focused goals and break them down into smaller goals when needed. I've grown in confidence in my relationships. I feel calmer and more at peace, and all of this helps me when dealing with my daily life challenges. I feel like I'm experiencing a much higher rate of productivity. I'm clear about aims, objectives. Sorry, the health champion she's talking about is also my husband. So I'm just bringing it for at the end, and it's really sweet. But basically, they're saying that all the work that you've provided has helped save my life. So I just wanted to use that as an example of if you know of anyone in Croydon that has any health concerns at all, please feel free to email or call me. all our programs are free. Very, very quickly, Mamun, can you just move to the next 2 slides, just because they just have names of all my thank yous. So lots of my volunteers are here, thank you. Of course, the CCG who fund us, the BME Forum, Neelkanth Safe Deposit, who you heard earlier, have been sponsoring the counsellor who supports my health champions. Actually, one of the doctors that's helped do some of our health talks is here today, but thank you to all the doctors, pharmacists, nurse and care workers who have been our speakers. And then I'll just leave the last slide up, which is, this is all the name, this is my team. So, as you can see, it's a huge team of tutors, champions and staff. So thank you very much, thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm not used to speaking in this, so I don't know if you can hear me. But anyway, so I'm Beena Ali, and I lead on the mental health project Here to Talk. Hopefully my slides will come up soon. Some of you may have joined some of the programs that we've run. Have the next slide, please. Thank you. So our aims and objectives for Here to Talk is targeted outreach work to raise awareness of mental health issues and risk factors amongst the Asian community, and to encourage and enable patients to recognise and present to existing interventions such as SLAM, talking therapies and befriending services. So we are hoping to support patients to consider lifestyle changes to reduce their risk of further or increasing mental health risks, mental health issues, and to support Asian residents with mental health, their families and carers who may be more comfortable speaking to our health champions in their own community setting rather than presenting to their GP or an official capacity. So some of our highlights have been, so we've now got our dedicated mental health webpage on ARCC website, which went live on World Mental Health Day, just 10th of October. So thank you, Naeem and Mamun, for setting that up. So we had suicide awareness training, which was delivered to our community on World Suicide Prevention Day, and our host for that is actually here. Thank you, Mo. And we have 3 specific mental health champions trained and ready to support individuals as and when they need. And we've got, I think Lizzie's already mentioned this, so we've got an in-house counsellor who supports the helpers, if you like. So, and we had our first face-to-face event last week, which was amazing. So, which was around psychosis, and it was a brilliant session. So thank you to everybody that attended and took part in that. So our work so far has so we've done quite a few collaborative workshops with SLAM. We did a lot of work with them on their 5-year strategy. So we've done stress management workshop, talking therapies. We had a course Islamic counselling. Self-advocacy, suicide awareness, so lots and lots of things happening, and we've got, I think, the next slide please, Mamun. Thank you. So we've got lots of activities coming up, depression, anxiety, anger management, sleep issues, bipolar, borderline personality disorders. These are all stuff that we may have heard of, but we kind of shy away from talking about it. If you see someone with a broken arm, you try and get them to A&E. You're not a doctor. Well, most of us aren't here anyway. So we'll try and get them to a doctor, get them help. If somebody mentions a mental health issue, we're kind of a bit like, oh, how do I deal with this? So if we take away one thing from this meeting, if that can be support whoever needs your help, and just listen to them, let's understand what they need and try and get that help that they need, that would be amazing for me. So our project is about raising mental health awareness, and if we can all do that, whether it's our family, friends, colleagues, whoever it is, let's just support everyone, everybody, because we all need that support sometimes. That's it really. So just to say, support everybody that needs our support. And so if you can contact me if you need any further information, or if you want to raise awareness of any projects that you're running, please do contact me. Thank you. If I could invite our BLBG colleagues, Kat, Lauren and Rich, to come up and present your section.
And unlike my colleagues, I love having a mic, so apologies for running over in advance. And I'm feeling very Chris Whitty here. Next slide, next slide. I've had a lot of thanks, and I'm going to talk a lot about Big Local Broad Green, but before I start that, I do want to say the last year has been, on a personal level and a professional level, really hard. Doing befriending calls. So if there's anyone in here that's on our befriending list and you've spoken to me or any of my colleagues, come and say hello. I spoke to someone that lost someone, and Emma was absolutely amazing. So I wanted to just say on a personal note, thank you to my colleagues, especially Emma, for all her support and all the work that we've done over COVID. And now I'm going to cry. I'm not really. I might need it. Can I have the first slide? So I didn't introduce myself. I'm Kat, Katrina. I'm the project coordinator for Big Local Broad Green. So I've been here for just over 2 years. Half of it's COVID. I don't know if that's a lost year when that counts, but I'm sure it does. I'm going to hand you over to my colleague.
I'm Lauren, I'm the Project Support Officer for Big Local Broad Green. I've also been around for about 2 years. I joined just after Kat.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. I'm Richard Tate. I manage the hub space for Big Local Broad Green in partnership with ARCC, and I've been around for, well, not around completely, I'm older than 2 years, 3 months, but I've been in my current role, which I love, for 2 years and 3 months.
Brilliant. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Big Local Broad Green is. That's not going to work, is it? That might help. We are a 10-year project funded by the local trust, which is ultimately the lottery, and we are funded to better improve our community. So that is we're resident-led, and we identify local needs and act and respond to them. We will leave in 10 years' time, or when the 1.1 million finishes, our area in Broad Green will be better able to identify and respond to the needs in the future. The community will make a difference in the needs it prioritises, so it's the community that decides what needs to be improved in Broad Green. People will feel that their area is an even better place to live or work. Next slide, please. And as the residents of Broad Green so we've got 12 residents that sit on a steering group, and what we do every 3 years is get together and decide what we want to prioritise. For the next 3 years, well, it's not about that now, we're about halfway through, this is what the residents of Broad Green decided to prioritise, and that is leaving a legacy of a more united, stronger community, support financial literacy, improving our environment, support vulnerable people. And there's lots more that I can talk about that. And have a look at our website to find out more. I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Richard. Oh no, Lauren.
Thank you. Can we have the next slide? This is a quick snapshot of some of our activity since the Broad Green Hub opened in late summer of 2019. So we have 17 people that live, work or study in Broad Green that sit on our steering group. So when Kat talked about defining our priorities, these were the people that made those decisions. We've experienced a considerable amount of generosity from local people, local organisations, and we've received over £1,200 worth of equipment, tech or furniture. We've also received over £1,200 worth of donations raised from groups and organisations that have used the hub. We've awarded 12 small grants to community organisations as part of our small grants programme, and we've generated over £10,000 of income from additional funding streams, which has brought additional investment to the area. And we've clocked up a whopping 720 volunteer hours from all of our committed and amazing volunteers. I just also need to say I'm obliged, as I oversee the electronic mailing list. If you do want to know more about Big Local Broad Green, please do join our mailing list through our website over here, or come and speak to myself, Richard, or Kat.
Thank you, Lauren. If we could have, we've got the next slide. So, just a little insight into some of the things that we're currently working on. We have lots of different groups since we've come out of the restrictions and the lockdowns now entering the hub space, and it's thriving. And one of the projects we're working on is a little free library. So myself and a group of adults with learning disabilities, on a Friday afternoon, it's a creative group, we're building a little free library, which if you haven't heard of it, you can Google LFL, Little Free Library. It is what it says. It's a small bookcase that's full of books that are free for people to take, and we're going to have one on display out the hub when we've completed the construction. We've had litter picking and environmental events. We ran a food bank from the very first lockdown, March 23rd, 2020, and that has now become a food club. So people pay a small amount for a bag full of food shopping. It's also become a bit of a social thing, because we took some feedback from the members, and they were saying they were collecting their food and they were sticking around for a chat and sort of wanting a cup of tea and a catch up, and everybody was very isolated. So we developed that into a thing called Tuesday Talk, which is a very jolly social group on a Tuesday. We have women only fitness sessions which have been running for 6 months. Disability groups we've worked with include Inner Spectrum, which is adults on the autistic spectrum. I have a creative background, and I've taught them felt making, amongst other things, drawing and painting. We've worked with Croydon Vision, we've worked with Croydon People First, and we also have a spelling club which Kat's heading up on a Monday afternoon, an after school spelling club for 8 to 11 year olds?
9 to 10, 11, yeah.
We have the Friday afternoon creative club, the art club that we mentioned. We do a quarterly newsletter, and we also have an upcoming event on the 11th of December, which is a Saturday, a winter grotto, and we're currently collecting for that. So if anybody's got any ideas or any items that they could donate, we're collecting presents, gift items, which will be bagged and wrapped for children aged up to 13. And on the 11th of December, we'll open the hub as a winter grotto. Father Christmas is coming. The Mayor of Croydon, Councillor Sherwan Choudhury, is coming. And yeah, so if you want to make a donation of a suitable gift item, just come and see myself, Kat, or Lauren. We've also done a workshop. We did some paintings with adults with disabilities, and they exhibited their work at our annual event, which was in Nottingham, Big Local Connects, and their artwork was on display there, very well received. I think that pretty much wraps it up. But I just want to say, could everybody put their hands together and give a round of applause for this team, which to me feels like an immediate and an extended family. The entire team, including all the volunteers and everybody. It's a magical place to work, and it is something really special, and I think they all deserve a round of applause. So thank you very much.
I'd like to invite Jacqueline to come on stage and talk about the Community Facilitator Project.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming along. My name is Jacqueline Molyneux, and my role is Community Facilitator, primarily based in the Thornton Heath Community Hub. I've been in post since July of this year, so I'm quite relatively new to ARCC. Seen a lot that's been going on, and it's really good to actually become part of this team. Heard a lot about it, now I'm part of it. My role is funded by the One Croydon Alliance, and that's a partnership between the local NHS, Croydon Council, and voluntary and community sector organisations. Stop that. I apologise, I haven't spoken to a crowd in a long time, and I'm getting distracted from the side here. So working together across the Alliance, it seeks, oops, sorry, I'm on the first slide, so I apologise. I'm looking at you and down here, and I'm not looking at my slides. So working across the Alliance, it seeks to join up the services available to offer more coordinated support that would help look after people's physical and mental health and well-being. So I have a both strategic role and a community-based role. and that is acting as the bridge between the local community partnership, community hubs, and the multidisciplinary teams. Working closely together, we build on existing strengths, supporting local partnership working, and growing capacity within the voluntary and community sectors. Within this partnership, the community facilitator's role, which is my role, is key to ensure that the new commissioning process is responsive to the priorities set through the community and planning process. So the community hubs. There are 6 localities across Croydon, and it's expected that there will be at least one community hub in each of those localities. Community hubs provide pathways for people into social support networks, community-led activities, and specialist voluntary and statutory services. The service providers participating at the hubs have adapted their service models in response to local community priorities, and they share a commitment to find solutions that require people to have informed choices to make the decisions that lead them to take actions. Community hub meetings are currently held in a virtual space and take place on a weekly basis. These conversations are held with residents. They're strength-based and they're outcome-focused with clear action plans developed to achieve identified outcomes. Within the community hub, we have organisations across statutory and the voluntary sector. And you can see that they're from housing, healthy homes, Alzheimer's Society, DWP, Age UK, and Mind in Croydon. And this is just a limited number of the organisations that actually attend. And during that community hub, what we do is we get referrals that come in through the social prescribers, the link workers from GP practices. And the referrals that come in, they're non-medical referrals, where somebody might present to the practice with a health condition or a health issue, but there's an underlying problem that is a social situation that they need to have support with. They get referred into the hub. So on a Monday morning, we hold a community hub meeting with all of these organisations. It's about 3.5 hours long. Everybody sits together, we chat about it, we catch up with what's happening with each other in their different organisations. And then each of those organisations that has received a specific referral, they then contact that individual directly whilst the meeting is still going on in the background. If they need to get any support from one of the other supporting organisations, then what they would do is they would come back into the community hub. Remember, it's all virtual. Come back to the community hub, and again, we may discuss that situation to see if there are other organisations or support services that we can redirect or signpost them to. So the northeast locality, Thornton Heath, is the first community hub and has innovated a localities model enabling access to a wide range of statutory and voluntary services. It's expected that this model will be rolled out across all 6 localities, but they will be modified to the demographics of each particular area and by demand. Feedback from organisations participating in the Thornton Heath Community Hub has been very positive, and we are currently exploring a hybrid model, creating a physical space with the community whereby residents will have the opportunity to self-refer through a walk-in service. Speaking with some of the members from the community hub, we asked them what were their thoughts about meeting in a virtual place together. There was some scepticism at first, but they've all now realised that this is a really good and vital support network for individuals within the community. So we have working partnerships, and they are from the multidisciplinary teams from health, Croydon Council, and social care staff. They meet on a weekly basis across each locality. Sometimes you may find 2 meetings for each of the different localities, and they work collaboratively to support residents. I attend these community hub meetings on behalf of the community hub in the event that if there is anything discussed that is on a non-medical requirement, then they can refer back to me and then I can take it back into the community hub on a Monday morning. Where I am now. Okay, people whose health conditions are not understood are referred to the MD team, which is the multidisciplinary team, for assessment and help to better access the right specialist support by using a case management system, assessment, care planning and care coordination. Residents are supported to gain access to health services in the right place at the right time. Yeah, we're there. So the local community partnerships, they're community-led. It's an integrated model underpinned by the Croydon Health and Care Plan, which unifies all partners under a single vision. With input from Croydon Council and health staff on the multidisciplinary teams, holistic packages of care are developed, which enables them to work more closely with community-based workers in each locality. The local community partnerships and community hubs will be the main interface between voluntary community sector-led support and the One Croydon Alliance multidisciplinary teams. This partnership will bridge the gap between sectors and unlock the power of communities to put the services back into the heart of the community. So as a final note, I just would like to thank One Croydon Alliance for funding the programme, all the voluntary community sector organisations participating as they are fundamental to taking this vision forward. And finally, the local community partnership that's created the opportunity to empower the community to make decisions for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, and you wouldn't be able to tell that you hadn't been on a dais for a while. Thank you for that. A little while back, I was approached by a lovely young lady called Amran Mohammed. She was due to be here today, but she got stuck in East London, from the Royal Surrey County Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. She asked me if I would like to take part in an NHS video keeping South Asian communities safe from COVID-19. The video went on to feature Adil Ray Art Malik and our very own Agnello Fernandez, and a little bit of me. We'd like to play that video for you, just to break things up a little bit. So Mamun, if you could play that video, please.
Our lives are important. Our lives matter.
Many of us have lost friends or family to COVID-19. I have, and COVID-19 has affected us all in different ways.
Anyone with COVID-19 can spread the virus without any symptoms.
So we all have to continue to take the necessary precautions all the time.
Thank you for wearing face covering to protect our families and community.
Thank you for continuing to wash your hands to stop the virus from spreading.
Thank you for staying at home and maintaining safe space whenever you've been asked to. Please maintain good ventilation indoors by regularly opening your windows.
When asked to stay at home, we found other ways of connecting with family, friends and our communities.
If you have a high temperature, a new continuous cough, a loss or change to your smell or taste, self-isolate and call 119 to book a test or go to this website, even if these symptoms are mild.
If you are worried about your symptoms, call 111 or go to this website for advice.
And remember, if you have symptoms or a positive test, then please stay at home for the full isolation period to protect your families and the community.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe, effective, and gives you the best protection against coronavirus.
While you are waiting to be offered the vaccine, please continue to protect yourself and your family.
I was a bit nervous, but getting the vaccine was quick and easy, and the staff were really nice. Now I've been vaccinated, I feel fine.
We have both had the vaccine and we feel fine, but we still continue to wear face covering and wash our hands and meet family and friends in a well-ventilated spaces.
I have been vaccinated as well and I feel fine.
It was quick, easy, and I cannot thank the NHS staff enough.
I've been vaccinated too and I feel good.
I have had COVID and I have had the vaccination and I feel fine.
I am going to get vaccinated as soon as I can.
And so am I.
Together, we can play our part in protecting our families and our communities.
The NHS is ready and open for you to seek help at any time. You and your loved ones will get the treatment that you need.
You are not alone. We are all in this together.
Together, we are strong.
Together, we can keep our families and communities safe.
Please, if you get an invite to take the vaccine, please take it. Now beware, there's lots of people spreading lies and misinformation regarding the vaccine. They're simply not true. What is true is that the coronavirus can be deadly. It can be devastating for you, for your family, and for your community. And the only way we can live a normal life again is by taking the vaccine. Just remember that message. Take the vaccine, save lives, be the majority.
For the latest information, please visit nhs.uk/coronavirus.
Thank you. That was me doing my startled rabbit act. But thank you so much, and it was actually a clever segue into the next section, who is one of our guest speakers today. He's a GP in Thornton Heath. His interests include minor surgery, dermatology, and quality improvement of the health services through innovation and transformation. He's a GP trainer and appraiser, a member of the Croydon Local Medical Committee, and a governor at the Royal Russell School, Croydon. Dr. Agnello is the chair of the Pan-London Integrated Urgent Care Clinical Governance Group and chair of the National NHS Pathways Clinical Group, involving representatives from the Royal Medical Colleges. He was previously the National GP Lead for Urgent and Emergency Care for the Royal College of General Practitioners in the UK. He was awarded an MBE for services to medicine and healthcare by Her Majesty the Queen in 2004, Fellowship of the Royal College of General Practitioners 2006, and his practice attained the highest honour of Royal College of General Practitioners Quality Practice Award in 2010. In his role as a GP in the borough and the borough lead for Croydon, Dr. Agnello chairs several groups, including the Urgent Care Working Group, Strategic Transformation Board and Prevention, Self-Care and Decision-Making Steering Group. He also is the Vice Chair of Croydon's Health and Wellbeing Board. It's been a great honour and privilege for ARCC to have worked with him and so many of his colleagues during the past year. Please welcome one of Croydon's best, an award-winning doctor who has managed to bring the Duchess of Cornwall to our humble parts thanks to his incredible work and leadership during COVID-19. May I invite Dr. Agnello Fernandez to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Ema. I think some of that CV needs updating a bit. What's really nice is putting on a tie. It's not often we've been doing that, and if you notice, I haven't got shorts on either. So we've done so much on virtual, on Zoom or Teams, that it's seeing people face to face is brilliant. But we mustn't forget that the pandemic is not over. So to make sure that the film as well, it was made earlier on, so a lot of it still holds true, to take the precautions and have the vaccinations. And also get our children vaccinated because it's safe and effective, and to protect ourselves and protect our families. I must say, my great thanks to ARCC, Ema in particular, and Lizzie, who've been involved in so many different events that we've been working with, and I'm really proud the NHS has been working with you to do this. And just looking back, you know, we've all been through the difficult times, and hopefully now with better medication, vaccination, we'll be able to have less suffering because of COVID. But where we were was a time when there was a lot of misinformation. A lot of misinformation hitting all our BME communities, and our vaccination rates were actually very low. And it was working with the ARCC and the BME Forum that we actually raised the numbers of people being vaccinated, and we could see that on a week by week basis in different communities in Croydon and across South West London. And it was making a difference. So we've had this vaccination WhatsApp group which has been active almost every day. Every hour. And you know, it's been a real godsend, bringing communities together, bringing different doctors and other health professionals together with the voluntary sector. And we've seen the results of that. And with regards to the Asian population, which was lagging way behind in terms of vaccinations, we are now very much high, amongst the highest in Croydon. We still have more work to do because only 70% of the population is vaccinated, and we need more work to go into vaccinating the remainder of the people. But I think apart from the WhatsApp group, we've also had a number of webinars, and the webinars that we've had across Croydon has been tremendous. I mean, I can't remember how many we've done, but it's probably reaching over 100 different parts of Croydon, South West London, and wider, trying to reach the populations that we couldn't reach before. But what ARCC and BME Forum did was help us reach the population as an NHS we couldn't reach. And that was the huge benefit that we had of working together. And that partnership working going forward is going to be absolutely critical. And what the pandemic showed was that together we can do something really great. And I think the direction of travel with the voluntary sector, with ARCC and other voluntary groups is going to be the cornerstone of how we do population health management. And working in different ways, and one of the new ways, and I'll speak to Sarah about this, called the MHIP project, the Ethnicity Mental Health Improvement Project, is a really novel way of doing this, and empowering the communities to be able to support the community. And I think working in this way is critical, but what's also important is the politics. And I think the voluntary sector has risen up the ranks with regards politics with a small p, because you have to be at the table to be able to contribute. You have to be at the table to help people understand that there's different ways of doing things, that innovation can happen, but it's not in the traditional way. And I think it's important that whether it's locally or whether it's in South West London, that the voluntary sector and ARCC and different groups are represented in a big way, because otherwise we're only going to do what we've always done. And rather than have a system that is patching people up and sending them out again, we have a system that is preventative and keeping people well, which is going to be a new way of working. And some of the projects highlighted already in terms of the health champions and the expert patient programs highlighted some of the ways we can work differently. So I look forward to continually working with ARCC and for your involvement in taking the health of Croydon's population forward in a really positive way. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We're very lucky to have Dr. Agnello here today to speak with us. So we have actually concluded the formal part of the AGM, but we can't skip the very important part, which is the vote of thanks, and that will be delivered by my colleague Ash Balakrishnan. Just before I give it to you, some of you will remember actually from last year when we did a virtual AGM. I know, Sarah, you commented on it several times. Ash recovered from COVID, a very bad episode of COVID-19, and is testament to just how incredibly difficult and dangerous it can be. And Ash is standing next to me looking rather dashing, so he's fully recovered, and glad you're here with us, mate.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name's Ash Balakrishnan. I've been a part of the ARCC board for 2 years now, and very proud to be involved with the organisation. I've got a little quote here by Saint Ambrose of Milan, who said, "No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks." I'd also like to share one of my favourite quotes, which is, "Eating is not cheating," and I know lunch is around the corner, so we'll get there very, very quick. Right? So I've been given the proud duty of saying the thanks today. I'd like to get, and I'm actually speaking on, not just personally, but on behalf of the whole ARCC family. So if possible, if we could get the ARCC team, the family, trustees, everyone up here as well, so everyone can see you guys. Please come join me. So it's been an eventful AGM, full of information about what's happened over the past year and exciting plans for the future. So first of all, let me acknowledge that there's a whole lot of people who worked really hard over that period of time to make that event happen, and hence I thought it'd be important to get the team up on the stage. So let me start with thanking our CEO, our rock, Miah. A little round of applause for Ima, please. We've got our trustees here today with us. We've got our chair, who's also a rock. He looks like Dwayne Johnson. Jay Patel. Dilly, Sahadat and Sophia, who've put a lot of effort into putting the reports together and taking on added responsibilities for the board. Our wonderful speakers today, our entertainer, Mr. Saleel, Tambe. And also thanks to Grand Sapphire for the wonderful venue, and Spice Village, who will be providing the catering for our lunch later on. So it's been an incredible turnout today, guys. Right till the end, you've stayed, and thank you for your wonderful support to ARCC. So last but not least, it's great to be thanking the Mayor of Croydon, who joined us today as he's out. Our MPs, especially Sarah Jones, for being here. Our councillors, and I see several of you are still with us today. Yeah, the louder we clap, more food we get for lunch. Richard Tate for displaying his brilliant cityscape art. We thank you to our distinguished guests, the voluntary and community groups who are present here, the business community and our forum members, our NHS colleagues who are also present here today, council colleagues who are always supportive, our funders and supporters without whom we simply would not be here, our members who attend our events and services. We are only here to serve you. So massive thank you to everyone. I'm very proud to say that ARCC is one of the leading charities in Croydon, and we're all extremely proud to be a part of it. So if I've missed anyone out, my sincere apologies. But the last clap for everyone here in the room today. Thank you. Thank you.